Okay, so I basically the way that I look at the charts and the way I trade is how I've learned from Connor and Dave Routledge.
Yeah.
So this is basically the banker strategy before kind of Jason Jones introduced supply and demand to the group.
Yeah.
I haven't really changed the way I look at things. I've just kind of tried to fine tune it and perfect it as best as I can to make it work as best as I can for me. So I mean, what I would generally do on a Monday or a Sunday night, I would just open the charts and I would just start off with the DXY and I would work my way through the majors. So just looking at this here, you can argue that you've had a break of structure on both sides.
Yeah.
And by that, if anybody's kind of wondering what I'm on about, you've got this price action here that breaks below this structure here. So you could see it. We've had a break of structure at the downside, and then that would mean you're looking for sells. So first POI that springs to mind is this here, because what this has done, it's pushed up and took out all these trend line traders here before moving down. So you could be looking for sells around this area on the DXY, which would obviously mean you'd be looking for buys on Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, NZD USD, and then you'd be looking to sell these three. And because obviously that never played out, we've then traded higher than this, and you could argue that we've had a break of structure to the upside. So when I'm looking at this now,
Sorry, Matt, just is there a little trend line in there as well? So would we class that as a sweep?
trend line
Yeah, do you know from where you top of your dotted line to the left, or
up here,
yeah, from there to the
yeah,
high?
definitely that there.
No, sorry, I was thinking from about where the 12th is, mate, somewhere around the 12th of December. What's up above?
Can you annotate?
I have no idea how to do it, mate.
Hold on.
Where you've got your line for the breaker structure, just directly to the left of that.
I don't know what you mean.
So, I don't know how to annotate.
Hold on, because if you look on the if you can look on your options bar on Zoom.
At the top.
Oh yeah, view options, yeah. I'll annotate.
Right. Oh, sorry, mate.
Yeah, no.
That one there.
Yeah, is that a trend line from there to the literally just
Yeah.
before that breaker structure the high?
That there.
No, right across to the. Sorry, I draw this one, mate. Just somewhere around there now.
All right. So you're talking like something like that there.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, it could be a breaker structure, but I just see it. I didn't know if it like lined up for class it as a sweep and then.
Are you thinking about something like that and then sweep?
Yeah, but a bit longer from the where I put the first arrow to the second one, mate. I would. looks a bit like I've not looked at it properly, obviously, but just as I was looking
Yeah,
at them, it looked like it could have been a free touch trend line there.
yeah.
That would
So
sort of tell me that would be a sweep one rather than a
definitely.
break structure now.
Well, that's 100% a sweep
Yeah,
because what you have as well, the banks know that smart money concepts
yeah,
is a kind of a strategy, so they are onto it. So they know people are going to be selling out of this area here, and they've even induced a load of orders. So there is people actually selling here, and um, you would see people looking at this price action on a lower time frame and entering kind of off this candle here, and then it's just took out everybody's orders really. But
yeah,
for me, I wouldn't be I wouldn't have been looking for sells there. Um, I wouldn't have been like too hasty about getting into sells there because what was it?
oh yeah,
No, sorry. I don't think I was looking for sells in this area. I can't remember what I was looking at, to be honest. But you can definitely say that it's a liquidity grab and it's broken structure came
yeah,
back and tested. So that's like a valid entry there
yeah,
because you've had your liquidity grab and then you break a structure here. So that's when I would have been looking for sells. You know what I mean? This is the area that I'm kind of looking for. So I'm waiting for a liquidity grab and then a break of structure like that, and this would be where I'm looking to enter. The only thing with this is, can you see how it's like moved away quite
yeah,
balanced? Yeah, and then obviously you've dropped there. I mean, that's like a massive stop loss. 'Cause obviously we're on like a 4 hour time frame here. But if you can, obviously we're still on the Dixie, but if you see something like this on another pair, then what you would tend to do is that would become your POI,
yeah,
and then you would set an alarm and you would just wait for lower time frame confirmations moving into your POI. I think sometimes when I see like this candle here and this big engulfing one a little bit further up, and if it lines up with something like the 88 on your fib, I would, and everything else is like quite perfect, and everything's like ticking the boxes. That's when I wouldn't mind setting a pending order. So if this happened kind of up here, I wouldn't mind setting a pending order and just forgetting about it rather than waiting for the lower time frame.
yeah.
So it's I don't always wait for the lower time frame on every trade. So I'll just go through some of the trades that I've had on recently. I'll start with JJ. Right, so this was a trade that I didn't take, and I talked myself out of it. So this is like kind of good to cover kind of like bad mindset really. It was a couple of weeks ago, and the reason I didn't take it is just because of the stop loss, the 65 pip stop loss. So I talked myself out of it, but I preach it all the time. I tell people like, a big stop loss on these Japanese pairs. It's it's not the end of the world because of the way these Japanese pairs move. I mean, look at that move there. It's gone from it's like a 500 pip move
I was gonna
in
say, mate, that like it does move quick from it, but well, the map like
exactly.
does move a lot, so yeah,
It just moves like a massive amount of pips. So sometimes when you'll see like an entry and it's screaming out like a perfect setup. So what was that? Was a time frame I was looking at? Do you know what? I think it might have been this candle that I was like interested in. It looks like yeah, that's what I've done. So this 15-minute candle here is the last candle. It's the last kind of like up move before all these engulfing candles come in, and it's like a 2 o'clock candles. It'd be interesting to see on the 10th of March what that was. So there's like loads of USD red news that day, but it does affect, like USD news will affect more than just USD pairs, and like CAD news will affect like a lot of other pairs as well, because there's like the oil and everything and the trading around the world. So you'll sometimes you might think you're safe not trading USD pairs during red news.
Yeah.
It's just not the way it works. It can have a massive effect across the whole market. Where was that at there? So it was that 15-minute candle that I was looking at. As you can see, I've had this liquidity marked here with the red dotted lines that just tell. I use the red dotted lines for liquidity taken, and the green ones for liquidity that needs to be taken. So it's basically tagged into this area here, this POI, and that's like your high, your low, come up. It's just respecting the order flow, basically. You could have had your stop loss just above there. I mean, yes, it's played about for a bit. So that's the thing as well with this strategy. You've just got to be, you've got to expect to be in the trade sometimes hours, sometimes overnight before it really moves. So I don't know how you trade. I know you go down to like the 1 minute time frame to get that tight entry, and I think the way you trade, what's called supply and demand, you might be a bit quicker, like getting your 3-to-1s and your 4-to-1s.
Yeah.
So
So
sometimes,
so how I trade, mate, is mine's mine's bankers mine's more bankers than supply and demand. To be fair, it generally starts out as a banker's move. But yeah, I wait for obviously 15-minute break and then a 1 minute break. Um, but yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted. But obviously that your big move there that's gone however many hundreds of pips. Like I'm trying to capture them, but I'm trying to get in on the 1 minute. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Mentally, it's quite hard. You probably
mhm,
take a lot of losses along the way, or while you're learning. But
yeah,
I don't really take many losses anyway. But I'm fully prepared to, because
yeah,
that trade might have been 100 to 1 to me.
mhm,
So I'm happy to lose a few trades to catch one. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But
definitely.
it's definitely not for the faint-hearted, and
No,
yeah,
it's definitely not. Like with the lower
no,
time frames, you've got to expect to, well, one, lose more, because that is what happens.
yeah,
You see them patterns a lot more. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it, it's time of the day, sorry, and like the price and the time together. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
for
how it
me,
works
like,
for me, mate. Sorry, I'm just gonna jump in. Like
okay,
I go off the extremes of the candles on night breaks. So it's almost like if it fails, the whole zone fails. So
mhm,
that's how it sort of works for me, mate. But I get one trade a week on a two on a good week, and then sometimes I get 2 or 3 weeks where I get nothing, you know. But
mhm.
yeah, Yeah, it's not easy. I used to trade more like this, and then yeah, I started thinking like, hang on, can I get lower time frames on the same trades?
Yeah, that's the thing with the lower time frames. It's you can sometimes miss the trades as well
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're looking and then it'll leave without you.
yeah.
And so sometimes
Especially JPY pairs, mate. They're the worst
yeah,
ones. Like,
yeah, they
yeah,
just because they move so quick, so they
yeah,
don't even give you a chance to get in. That's why sometimes I do think, but I think with Euro JPY, I think I lost a trade. Yeah, it was this one. So I had it in my head, I didn't take the GG trade because it was 65 pips, and I just sat there and just watched it play out like a
yeah,
divvy. Um, and I thought to myself, next time I see something like that, I'm taking the trade. So AJ, and it's basically done exactly what I wanted it to do. Really, it's dropped. It's took liquidity. It's left imbalance.
yeah,
So I was just, I mean, for me, I'm not looking for them 9 to 1s. Do you know what I mean? I'm just looking for a 4 to 1, 3 to 1.
yeah, yeah,
I'm I'm not taking partials anymore. So I'm just like 3 to 1, 4 to 1. I'm out.
yeah. Do you move stop losses or anything?
I will move my stop loss to break even, depending on time of day. Um, if I'm holding overnight, things like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but I if I get in the morning, I don't tend to need to. It's just a case of just putting my alarm on me take profit.
yeah,
I just letting it do its thing.
yeah.
Um,
Do you trade any specific sessions, or is it a case of if an alert goes, you get your phone or tablet or
yeah, it's
whatever out
mainly
and trade whatever, as long as it's not obviously between 10 and
yeah,
11. Yeah,
it's mainly if an alert goes off.
yeah,
Um, I'm available at the minute, like between well, I'm available all day really. To just jump on the computer if I need to. But to be honest, I'm trying to get it where my alerts go off and I just need to have a quick look and I'm just forgetting about it.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah,
and but I like to say I am still taking losses and there's another one. But the good thing is that even if I'm even if my win rate's like 50%, 60%, I'm still up.
yeah. Do you journal your trades or anything like that? So
I'm
obviously,
not at the minute
you,
because
oh,
of
sorry.
just because of my living situation and everything at the minute. It's
Yeah,
but I was, and it did help us out.
yeah, yeah.
So you can
It's something I
see,
need to improve on, mate. It's like I feel like
mhm,
having time to journal, and I mean, I look through a lot of. Um, I mean, when a trade plays out, I pretty much like I look through
uh,
it multiple times, especially if it didn't work out or if it was a loss. I'll look over it 10 times sometimes. You know, I suppose quite obsessive with it, but it's all for the purpose of did I miss some? What can I have done next time, sort of thing. But like actually writing it down and journaling it, I don't seem to be.
I
I like
well
to make
writing
I
it
have got
down.
time, but let's be honest, I could find 10 minutes if I'm honest, you know. But it's just not the forefront of my mind to do it. If that makes sense.
If you have a book on your desk, have you got like where are you on like a table or a desk or something at
No,
home?
mate, I'm terrible. I sit on the sofa, got my feet up on a puppy, laptop on
Oh,
my
I
knee.
stay still. I'll show you this. This is what I've got. It's just an A4 week to view,
Yeah.
like diary, and so like every page is like a day.
Mhm.
And literally, what I do is if I'm marking up on a Sunday or a Monday, I'll just write down the pairs that I'm looking at, the ones
Yeah.
that POIs and things like that, and when my alarms will go off, I'll write it down. So you're just writing everything down, really, what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got another question, mate. It's I was speaking to a chap earlier. I was messaging a chap earlier in the group. I'll not name him in case I'm one of you. But I was sort of saying, obviously, with bankers, you get obviously your trend line, your liquidity sweep, then you want to break your structure and coming back to your POI. Are you?
Mhm.
I think I know David Routledge does it a lot, but you. I think he does it. So if there's a trend line, he anticipates the sweep into a point of interest. And he'll sort of like put a trade on that. Do you do that? So it's almost obviously I sort of don't know how to say
So
it.
what
He's
do you
sort of like
mean?
he's picking a POI before the sweep happened. You know, he's trading that like the sweep.
Yeah,
Do you trade that at all or
yeah. Like I use the sweep. Obviously, the sweep's like where I would be looking to enter.
yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, sorry. So, like, if you had a trend line above, like, if you had that POI at the top of the screen now that's there, yeah,
Mhm.
if you had that, had, if that wasn't like a sweep before, if that didn't sweep any liquidity already before, but it built a trend line just below that POI,
Yeah.
would you set a pending on that POI straight away, or would you sort of like wait for it to play out and then sort of jump on?
Um. So I
Because
would say it's just.
I would always like wait. When I was
Mhm.
doing it before, I was like I said, it was sweeping, then it was breaking structure, then it was coming back to the sweep
Mhm.
sort of thing.
Mhm. I would say it just depends from trade to trade, and that's like with that scenario. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It all just depends. To be honest, every single trade is different. To be honest, I don't think I've looked at like one trade, sorry, two trades the same way
yeah,
with this strategy. Everything just varies. There is variations, and that's what can be quite difficult for
yeah,
people because not everything's like fridge magnet um
yeah.
perfection. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%,
Um,
mate. So I've got like I've screenshot me entries. I've got them all saved in like a folder on my phone, and
mhm,
you can. I would say there's three sort of types of uh, scenarios of the areas that they tend to like be, but they're all actually very different. But there is sort of,
mhm,
I would sort of say look at an entry and go, it's probably one of the three sort of types, but yeah, they're
mhm.
all definitely different areas.
So like with this trade here, I think you went over this. Me and Dave we were on a call on Tuesday, I think it
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
and we were looking at it, and we were both agreeing like this 1 hour candle up here with the imbalance is the POI, and it was just I just went back off after the call and done some more analysis on this pair, whacked a fib on it, and realised where we were in your 71.88 area. And if it did come up this deep into your fib zones, I would expect it just to take it anyways,
yeah,
just to take the high. So I seen obviously this break of structure here, and then it's come back to the origin, and then we've had this sideways movement, and we've pushed up and then pushed down again.
yeah,
So this is basically distribution of coming out of this area, um, and we've just had exactly the same thing. It's come back to the origin, distributed again, and where I would usually set a pending order, um, I actually entered this off like market execution method.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah,
So
yeah. We spoke about this, didn't we?
we did I. So you've had this big push up here, it's taken out all of this liquidity here, these April highs, and then in this price action, this is where I was watching it on the lower time frame. and you've got these equal highs here. Now it's not the best, it's not the cleanest, but still equal highs, and then we've had this drop. And when I was watching it, I've seen this candle here come in, this wick rejection to come down, and then we've had another one, and then I've seen this wick rejection here, and I've seen this bearish candle come in, and that's when I entered. And once I entered, that was it. I just let it do its thing, and it was a pretty good trade.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Obviously,
that's what I
this is
mean.
what I messaged you about what it was. What you shared your training. I sort of like what we incident. I thought I just wanted to see if it worked with how I would have traded. It did
Mhm.
work out. It worked out perfect. It was a fairly leanish trade as well.
Yeah,
Shame I missed the POI, mate. To be fair, at the beginning, because
yeah. Well, I mean that's what I mean. It's still it's funny how you can look at something and just analyze it totally different to the way I do it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But we're taking the same trade.
yeah,
It's mind blowing, like how everybody looks at it differently.
yeah.
But
So,
yeah, I mean, I hope I've kind of explained well
yeah.
because
Well,
I
so
mean,
yeah. Well, obviously, I mean, if we was to recap, mate, it's obviously you're looking for trend lines, liquidity sweeps,
mhm,
breaks of structure,
mhm.
um, return to the POI, yes, but obviously
So
sometimes you wait for lower things and stuff, I guess.
there was another one. That was it there. So you've got this on the 4 hour. So I would have had like an alarm basically on these equal highs
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Um, I would have set an alert there. And then when my alert's gone off, I think it was first thing on the morning when I was watching this. Oh, so this is like Friday. So it must have been on a Monday. I think it was a Monday when I took this trade. Yeah, that's right. So this is liquidity basically building up, and then this push up and a push down, greater structure there. That's exactly what I want to be saying. This candle here left the imbalance, the indication that the banks and the institutions are in play, and that's where price needs to return to basically mitigate out of the orders. So I took a set a pending order on that one because to me that's basically your lower time frame.
yeah,
That's another thing with this strategy. You can't always guarantee which time frame you're going to be looking at for your like your lower time frame distribution or accumulation to play out on.
yeah,
Sometimes it can play out on the 5 minutes, sometimes it can play out on the 15. You've just got to you've just got to kind of understand whereabouts you are and what price is doing.
yeah, yeah. No, I completely agree, mate. Because I used to find stuff on the 15 minutes, sometimes it'd be 4 hours. It's, I mean, now I'm mainly 4 hours, and then I drop through it as point of interest to get touched into, but so I don't really scour too
Mhm,
much on the 15 or anything these days. But
mhm.
I do remember picking up like a few trades that was on the 15 that you just didn't see the trends or equal highs on the 4 hours. So it was just like one candle or something like that. But yeah, they gives us a lot of time frames.
Aye. But we've broken structure now, and I did see on Dave's call what I would have liked to have seen here, because this is a sweep as well. Um, that's your sweep, and then you break the structure, and it's left all this imbalance. So what I would have liked to have seen is a bit of consolidation down here. Take that trend line and then go.
Yeah.
So for me to look at this trade, it needs to just go sideways for a bit.
Mm. Probably have a look over that, mate, when we're done on this. I'm
Aye.
not sure what that might have at the minute.
And I've got another one as well. Order NZD. It's still a long way away yet, like,
Yeah.
but so what I'm basically looking at is on the weekly, I've had this huge distribution of price. That's your sweep,
Mhm.
that's your test, and then you've broken structure at the upside. So that's your first leg. This will be your second um, expansion. So what we've got down here was a sweep, and then we've broken out of
I've got
this
that 4 hour market as well, that at the bottom.
down here, have you?
Yeah, when you said it was hitting a POI
Mhm.
earlier in the chat, that's why I asked you. I thought, well, it's not, it meant that leg for me on mine. I thought,
Mhm.
oh, maybe I'm not seeing too much. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got that lower 4 hour POI.
yeah. So just waiting at the minute, really, waiting to
Yeah,
see what it does,
yeah. Do
because
you, so it seems like you're a little bit into Wyckoff as well, mate. Do you,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm not. Um, I, I bought a book, but I haven't read it all. I I just went to the sections that I like kind of wanted to know about and things like that. Um, but it's definitely relevant when you're trading
Yeah.
smart money concepts.
Yeah, well,
100%. It's
I've not read any of the book or anything, mate, but I know what the patterns look like. You know,
yeah,
that's about it, and I sort of understand the idea behind it, and
yeah,
trying to get orders filled, like obviously trying to fill big orders, so they're trying
mhm,
to take them off the little guy. But yeah, it's
yeah.
I personally think it's really interesting, but it's probably difficult to learn. So
It is really difficult, and it's just it's hard on the mindset as well.
yeah.
You find myself questioning myself like quite a lot.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think as well, I heard someone say that like you never actually know if it's a write off until after it's played out. So
mhm,
it I mean,
yeah,
I've not heard it from a professional white trader, but yeah, it seems like a lot of it's guesswork and almost, but it's so
mhm,
powerful as well when it's right. You know,
mhm, yeah. I tend to take. That's what I mean about my losses. That I do tend to take some losses that I just regret, and I just think, well, how did I not see that happening? But like you say, you sometimes you don't see it until it's actually played out.
no, yeah,
But it's just having the right, correct risk management, and just knowing that you're still learning. Really, everything you're
yeah,
doing, you're always learning.
yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's like I don't think you're ever actually fully there, to be honest. I think it's just you're always learning. There's every day on the
Aye,
chart's different, and yeah,
yeah, it is. You just got to keep at it, just stick at it. Like if you're the way you're trading is bang on, really, isn't it? Like
yeah,
it, it's been tried and tested. So if you're happy with that, just stick at it.
yeah, absolutely, mate. I don't think much needs to change. I just need more time to be able to sit and look at the charts. To be honest, the main issue at the minute, I suppose.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right, well, I'll call it there, mate. I'm assuming you're done, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done for the night now, mate.
Yeah, because we've only got about a minute left anyway. If I kick this out,
Right.
he always forgets to look at the timer and gives us like 40 odd minutes. So
All right,
but
sound
yeah,
way. I hope it's been
nah, I've enjoyed it, mate. I've taken a bit
good.
from it. I'm sure everyone else has, and they can always ask questions in the chat if they want to know any more. But
Yeah, definitely.
cheers for
Cheers,
joining again,
lads.
lads.
Right,
Cheers.
no
Appreciate
worries,
everyone. Thank
lads.
you.
All right, see you later.
Good night, mate.